The elk, one of the largest mammals on our planet, might seem frail and weak, but it's actually quite tough and possesses enough courage to enable it to confront some of the most deadly predators, like bears, which is exactly what we're about to see in this video. Take a look at this incredible footage of an elk in a standoff against a bear that just wanted to escape. The bear had to climb a tree to avoid the fierce elk, which, despite not being fully grown, easily intimidated the bear into retreat. This scene shows that an elk, when sensing danger, won't hesitate to assert itself, even if it means challenging a bear. Luckily for the bear, it managed to avoid the confrontation this time. Elk are not easy opponents and can deliver devastating blows if they catch their adversary, potentially fatal ones. In this scene, the dynamics were entirely different as a young elk faced off against a much larger bear. It was a mismatch from the start. A bloodthirsty bear against a young elk is hardly a fair fight. Therefore, the elk needed a swift and strategic retreat rather than a direct confrontation with the fearsome bear. The smartest action for the elk in such a scenario was to flee, knowing that the bear might not pursue it into deeper water. Although there was a risk of drowning, the elk's chances of survival were significantly higher in the water than on land, where the bear could easily overpower it. Luckily, the elk's quick thinking paid off, and it managed to escape a near-certain death by retreating into the water. Look at this large group of elk, all fleeing from a single bear. The bear, clearly driven by hunger, saw the young group of elk as an excellent opportunity for a meal. It prepared and launched its attack at the perfect moment, likely believing it could easily catch at least one of them. However, its assumption was mistaken as the elk proved to be much faster, managing to escape immediately. Despite being in a group, the elk chose to flee rather than confront the bear, prioritizing survival over confrontation. Consequently, the bear had to abandon its potential meal. It might continue the pursuit for a while, but eventually, giving up seemed the best option under the circumstances. When the elk is large, the dynamics change entirely. Look at this massive elk, which decided to take a bear head-on. The elk wasn't scared, it was ready to fight, even landing a heavy blow with its antlers, causing the bear to reconsider its attack. The elk's size complicates matters for the bear, necessitating a strategic approach to avoid defeat. The standoff continued for several minutes, with the bear still believing it could succeed. The elk resisted, striving to overpower the bear, but the bear's ferocity exceeded the elk's, eventually bringing the elk down. Even after falling, the elk continued to jab at the bear with its antlers, likely causing it a lot of pain. However, the bear didn't abandon this substantial meal and ultimately emerged victorious in this vicious battle, securing a new meal. Although the bear was very close to this group of elk and wanted to snatch one of them to eat it, it quickly failed. The elk were much faster, leading the bear to lose hope of catching them. The only chance for the bear would have been for an elk to confront it head-on, as we saw previously, as catching smaller elk is very difficult due to their great speed, which allows them to escape bears most of the time. They know that bears are constantly trying to catch them, so they flee as quickly as possible upon noticing one. This time wasn't like the previous ones. This elk was so strong and brave that it actually defeated the bear. The elk was wandering with its young when suddenly the bear appeared from behind. The elk turned around to confront the large predator face to face. Determined to protect its young, the elk wouldn't allow the bear to come any closer. It immediately attacked the bear with all its might, causing the bear to retreat instantly. Can you believe that the bear fled at full speed, fearing for its life? The size of this elk was a significant advantage in the attack, making the bear seem small in comparison. Elk can reach gigantic and almost unbelievable sizes. Take a look at this elk that was approaching a car, for example. It was larger than the vehicle. What if a bear had to confront such a giant? I don't think it would have a chance of winning against creatures that are this massive. A bear tried to snatch away a young elk here too, but the mother's response was a harsh one. The bear had no idea that hunting the young elk was going to be such a hard task, but the elk's mother surprised the bear and was able to hold it back long enough until it eventually abandoned the hunt and ran away. She's a real hero, as confronting such a vicious predator is not an easy thing to do. In this truly incredible footage, a large elk aggressively confronted a bear that was attempting to threaten its offspring. Despite the bear's repeated attempts to seize the young elk, the determined mother elk did not surrender. She bravely attacked the bear, forcing it into a hasty retreat. The bear, overwhelmed by the elk's fierce protective instinct, was visibly terrified and ended up fleeing the scene. It was an absolutely wise decision to retreat in the face of such a massive animal. Elk, particularly when feeling threatened or when they're protecting their young, can be incredibly dangerous. This man did the right thing by fleeing. No matter how brave or curious one might feel, facing a creature this big is never a good idea. That brings us to the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell to stay updated with our daily new content. See you in the next video.